when I told her that I was finally joining her gym so we could work out together. She smiled, paused for a moment, and then said, "Do one thing with me." Hello there. My name is Liam, and this is a story about how I learned that some people see you as a project to be fixed while others see you as a liability to be hidden. It's a tale of getting back to my roots and building something new, but first, I have to tell you how it all started. When I told her I was finally joining her fitness center to work out together, she said, "Do me a favor. Act like you don't know me there. You're a bit out of shape and it would reflect poorly on my brand." I just nodded. But the next week, when she walked into the fitness center and saw who I was training with, her smile vanished instantly. Let me start by saying I used to be an athlete, nothing professional, but in college, I was a competitive swimmer. My life was a cycle of training discipline and pushing my body to its limits. After graduating, I started a software venture, and the long hours and high stress took their toll. The discipline I had in the pool didn't translate to the boardroom. Over the last 9 years, I gained weight. I'm not talking about a few extra pounds. I was significantly out of shape, and I knew it. It was a source of shame for me, a constant reminder that I had let a part of myself go. For the last 2 years, I've been dating Ella. She is a fitness influencer. Her entire life is curated to project an image of health, wellness, and physical perfection. We live together in my residence, a place I bought with the success of my business. The financial arrangement was clear. We split the bills, but I handled the mortgage myself. I thought we were a team. I supported her career even when I found it a bit shallow. I was the stable, successful guy in the background. I didn't realize my role was to be kept in the background permanently. Her fitness center is her temple. It's one of those high-end, trendy places that's more about being seen than actually working out. She spends hours there every day, mostly taking pictures and videos for her social media. I had been thinking about getting back in shape for a while, and I figured joining her gym would be a good way for us to spend more time together. Last week, I finally brought it up. We were in the kitchen and I was making dinner.
"Hey," I said.
"I was thinking of finally joining your gym. I need to get serious about my health, and I thought it would be cool if we could work out together sometimes." She stopped scrolling through her phone and looked at me. The expression on her face wasn't one of excitement or support. It was a look of pure, unadulterated panic. She put her phone down and walked over to me, adopting a tone you might use with a child who is about to do something embarrassing in public. "Babe," she said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "I love that you want to get healthy. That's great, but my gym it's kind of my office. It's where I build my brand." She took a deep breath. "So if you do join, you need to do me a favor. Act like you don't know me there. You're a bit out of shape and it would reflect poorly on my brand." The words just hung in the air between us. It wasn't just an insult. It was a complete and total repudiation of me as her partner. I was a liability to her brand, a shameful secret to be hidden. I didn't yell. I didn't get defensive. My mind, which has spent a decade building complex systems, just processed the data. This relationship was a failed project. The foundation was rotten. It was time to scrap it and build something new. I just looked at her, my face a complete blank. And then I nodded. "Okay," I said, my voice perfectly neutral. "I understand." She was so relieved that I wasn't making a scene that she completely missed the cold, dead finality in my eyes. She patted my arm and said, "Thank you for being so mature about this." She had no idea what was coming. She thought she was protecting her brand. She didn't realize she'd just given me the motivation. I needed to build a better one. The day after Ella handed me my official notice of irrelevance, I didn't go to her fitness center. Instead, I went to war. My battlefield was my laptop, and my weapons were logic and research. Ella had made a critical error. She had insulted a man who solves problems for a living, and she had just become a very interesting problem. Her embarrassment wasn't just about my weight. It was about her brand. In her world, everything is about association. I was a bad association. So my plan was simple. I was going to associate myself with someone who would make her head explode. Ella has a rival, a woman named Serena. Serena is another fitness influencer in our city, but she's the real deal. She's a former professional athlete with actual certifications and a reputation for intense, no-nonsense training. While Ella posts pictures of herself in cute gym outfits, Serena posts videos of herself lifting insane amounts of weight. They have a history of passive-aggressive competition, and Ella is deeply insecure about Serena's authenticity. I spent the next 2 days doing a deep dive on Serena. I analyzed her business model, her social media engagement, and her brand partnerships. I saw an opportunity. She was a brilliant trainer, but her business wasn't scaling. She was trading her time for money, one client at a time. I drafted a business proposal. It was an 11-page document complete with market analysis, revenue projections, and a detailed execution plan. Then I reached out to her not as a potential client, but as a potential business partner. We met at a quiet coffee shop. I laid it all out. I told her my story, not the emotional parts, but the data points. I was a former competitive athlete who had let himself go. I had the drive, the discipline, and the financial resources to undergo a radical physical transformation. I would be her ultimate case study. The proposal was this: I would pay her double her highest personal training rate for a 3-month exclusive contract. She would be my dedicated trainer. In return, we would document every single step of my journey: the workouts, the diet, the struggles, the successes. We would hire a professional videographer and photographer to capture it all. We would use this content to build and launch a premium online fitness program called the Phoenix Project. I would handle the entire business side: the platform development, the marketing, the finances. She would provide the expertise. We would be 50-50 partners in the new venture. She was skeptical at first, but as I walked her through the numbers, the marketing plan, and the technical backend I could build, I saw her eyes light up. It was a chance for her to scale her brand beyond anything she could do on her own, and the story a successful but out of shape guy using his own system to reclaim his health was incredibly marketable. She looked at me, a slow smile spreading across her face. "And what about Ella?" she asked. "Ella is a data point that confirmed my hypothesis," I said. "This isn't about her. This is about building a successful business." Serena laughed. "I'm in." She said, "When do we start?" We started the next day. We spent the rest of the week in planning sessions, hiring the video crew, and getting my initial fitness assessments done. It was brutal. I was weaker and slower than I had been in 15 years. But for the first time in a long time, I felt a spark of my old self returning. At home, I played the part of the defeated partner. I told Ella I had decided against joining her gym, that she was right, and that I would just try to eat better at home. She was so smugly satisfied with her victory that she didn't notice the new gym bag in my car or the fact that I was suddenly leaving the house at 5 a.m. every morning. The following Monday was day 1. We weren't training at her trendy, superficial fitness center. Serena had a partnership with a hardcore, old-school weightlifting gym across town, a place with more squat racks than selfie mirrors. Our first session was scheduled for 5:30 a.m., but I had one more piece of the plan to put in place. I knew Ella's schedule. She never went to the gym in the morning. She went at 10 a.m., when the lighting was best for her pictures. So on Monday morning, I sent a little gift to her gym. I had a specialty coffee truck park right outside from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. with a sign that said, "Compliments of Serena Stone. Fitness fueling real workouts." It was a petty, beautiful declaration of war, a shot across the bow, and it was designed to do one thing: make sure Ella was already annoyed and off balance before she even walked through the door. The stage was set. All I had to do was show up and work. The first week of the Phoenix Project was hell. Every muscle in my body screamed in protest. Serena was a relentless, brilliant trainer. She pushed me to my absolute limit and then a little further. The video crew was there for every painful moment, capturing every grimace and every drop of sweat. It was humbling and exhausting. It was also the most alive I had felt in a decade. At home, Ella was completely oblivious. She was so wrapped up in her own world that she didn't notice I was practically crawling into bed at 9 p.m. every night, or that our fridge was suddenly stocked with grilled chicken and broccoli instead of the wine and cheese she preferred. The coffee truck outside her gym was a massive success. I heard from a friend who was a member there that it was the talk of the gym. Ella was furious, ranting to anyone who would listen about how unprofessional and aggressive Serena was. The reveal was scheduled for the following Monday, exactly 1 week after my training began. We had a plan. Serena had a private training studio within the larger gym, a glass-enclosed room reserved for her high-profile clients. We made sure our 10 a.m. session was in that room. Ella walked into the gym right on time, dressed in a new, brightly colored outfit, ready for her daily photo shoot. I saw her the moment she came in. She was with her 2 best friends, a pair of women who made her look like a Rhodes Scholar. They made a beeline for their usual spot near the selfie mirror. As she was setting up her phone on a tripod, I saw her gaze drift across the gym floor. She scanned the room and then her eyes landed on the glass-enclosed studio. She froze. Inside that studio was her worst nightmare. It was me in the middle of a brutal set of deadlifts, my face red with exertion, and standing over me, coaching me, was Serena. But we weren't alone. We were flanked by a professional, two-person camera crew with high-end cameras, lighting, and sound equipment. It didn't look like a personal training session. It looked like a commercial shoot. Ella's smile vanished. Her phone, which was her entire world, was completely forgotten. She just stood there staring, her face a perfect mask of shock and confusion. She saw me, her embarrassing, out-of-shape partner, not hiding in a corner but as the centerpiece of a professional production with her #1 rival. She started walking towards the studio, her friends trailing behind her like confused puppies. She came right up to the glass and just stared. I finished my set, dropped the weight with a loud clang, and looked up. I made eye contact with her through the glass. I didn't smile. I didn't smirk. I just gave her a small dismissive nod, the same one a person might give to a stranger. Then I turned back to Serena to discuss my next set. The message was clear. You are irrelevant. She stood there for another minute, completely speechless. Then she turned and stormed out of the gym, her friends scrambling to follow her. The show was over. Relevant. She stood there for another minute, completely speechless. Then she turned and stormed out of the gym, her friends scrambling to follow her. The show was over, and the best part was we had captured her entire reaction on camera. It was going to make for some excellent promotional material. The fallout from what I now refer to as the Glassbox incident was immediate and glorious. I came home that evening to a house filled with a tense, angry silence. Ella was sitting on the couch, her arms crossed, waiting for me. What was that today? She demanded, her voice shaking with rage. What was what? I asked calmly, unpacking my gym bag. Don't play dumb with me. You at my gym with her and cameras. You did that to humiliate me. I stopped what I was doing and looked at her. No, Ella, I did that for me. You told me to act like I don't know you at your gym, because my presence would embarrass you. So I found a different gym and a trainer who wasn't embarrassed to be seen with me. In fact, she saw it as a business opportunity. This has nothing to do with you. The sheer cold logic of it left her sputtering. She had no argument. I had followed her instructions to the letter. The next day, the first promotional video for the Phoenix project dropped on Serena's social media. It was a masterpiece. It started with a shot of me looking tired and out of shape, talking about how I had lost my way. It then cut to intense cinematic footage of my first week of training. It was raw, honest, and inspiring. It ended with the tagline, "Rebuilding from the inside out, the Phoenix Project." Coming soon. The video went viral in our local community. The story was compelling. Everyone loves a comeback story. My social media, which had been dormant for years, was suddenly flooded with friend requests and messages of support. Ella's brand, meanwhile, took a massive hit. Her content, which was all about looking perfect, suddenly seemed shallow and fake compared to the authentic, gritty journey we were documenting. Her followers started leaving comments on her posts asking why she wasn't supporting her partner. A few people who had been at the gym and seen her reaction started talking. The narrative was not in her favor. 2 weeks into my training, I sat her down. I told her that our relationship was over. I explained that her comment wasn't just an insult. It was a fundamental statement about her character. I told her that my life was now on a different path, one that required my full focus and resources. I handed her a formal written 30-day notice to move out of my house. She was not on the deed and our financial agreement was informal. Legally, she had no standing. She cried. She yelled. She pleaded. She said she had made a mistake, that she was just stressed. I didn't engage. I just told her the decision was final. Don't miss out. Every day we uncover the most shocking, emotional, and dramatic Reddit relationship stories. If you love twists, heartbreaks, and unforgettable love tales, this is the place for you. Hit that subscribe button now and join the Home Exposed family, because every story deserves to be heard.